Why start a vending machine business in 2025? Especially when there's all these sexy business models like SMMA, dropshipping, Amazon FBA, and the list goes on and on and on. Well, today I'm going to be breaking down to you why you should start a vending machine business in 2025 and make some real money, not some quick rich scheme. Okay, let's get straight into it. So this is actually a growing industry. As you can see here, reported about how much compound annual growth rate that this industry is experiencing year in, year out. It's about 12.9%. And it is also expected to reach a 6.8 billion market value by 2030. Billion. Now, that's a massive market for you to get a slice of the pie in. There are quite a few pros to this business. So let's get into some of the most important ones and how they can benefit you. Now, essentially, I want to talk about how this business compounds, because it definitely does compound, especially when you have 10, 15 machines, 20, and you're even scaling further. The way I like to think about this little diagram here that I have, or this graphic, is you have one machine over here right in the middle and it has nothing else, so you're just relying on one vending machine. Now that's going to bring you in okay money, but then you have another vending machine over here, so now you've got two vending machines and that's bringing you another sort of income, and then you've got three vending machines and now that income is being tripled, and then you've got four, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, the more machines you actually have, the more you're compounding how much money you're making. So this business is entirely down to you. How hard do you want to go? How many machines do you want to implement? How much cash do you want to invest, and time and revenue? And the more you work hard and actually implement all these things in the business and are really passionate about growing it, the more money you're going to make. It compounds. You don't have to rely on anyone else other than getting your locations. Once you get your locations, there isn't essentially anyone else that you have to deal with. It's not like SMMA where you have to go out and find clients. It isn't like dropshipping where you have to rely on suppliers. It isn't like Amazon FBA, which again you have to rely on suppliers and going out and finding all these products. Once you find your locations, that's it. And once your locations are in place, they're typically in there for a few years. So you don't necessarily have to find new locations all the time. Now, number two, these are tangible assets. And the way that I like to think about it is, if you want to get your vending machine, go and sell it tomorrow, it will still be worth X amount. Yeah, it might not actually be worth how much you bought it for, because it is a depreciating asset naturally. But it is going to be worth something. Whereas you can't go and sell SMA, go sell all your products on Amazon FBA the next day if it doesn't work. Yeah, you can refund them, but you're not making any money on them. Having a tangible asset not only allows you to obviously build a business to the scope that when you want to retire or you want to sell your business on, you have generated X amount of value, but it also allows you to have these assets. They're almost like mini houses. The way I like to think about it is like it's like a real estate game where the more houses you own, the more rent you generate. Where the more machines you have, the more money you generate, because the more products you sell. And essentially, this is how the compound effect works. And then this is how you have, tangible assets that accumulate as well. Now, the last big pro for me is it does become passive. Now, without the stretch of imagination, and I'm going to make myself bigger here, because it doesn't just become passive from day one. It isn't just you buy a machine and then you've made £1 million. If it was like that, we'd all be doing it. But it does naturally become passive, okay? Because once you have 20, 30 machines, you don't have to work every day. You can just go do your round every week or twice a week, work for a few hours, maybe 3-4 hours, do your whole round, then come back home. Additionally, if you're having only credit cards on your machines, then you don't even need to be stressing about going to collecting your money and all, your machine getting broken into and all of this stuff, which I'll touch on a different topic. But it allows it to be even more passive, because that money will land in your bank account without you having to go out there and collect it. Now, the way I want to leave you on this sort of passive point that I've demonstrated over here is that it is semi-passive. Little bit of a tongue twister. Now, what do I mean? everything that I've just highlighted. So when you're starting out, this is not going to be passive. But once you've scaled up your business, because this is a business, not a quick not a quick get rich side hustle that all your gurus are advertising. This is a business model that you look to scale and actually create a business for yourself to be able to either retire, provide some more money for your kids, whatever the reason may be, want to go on an extra holiday. But essentially, you will make this passive, because if you don't want to do it, then you will hire someone, and of course this is going to cut into your profit and your margins. But essentially this is going to allow you to just sit back like this fella over here and collect the coins off the tree. Now, it can actually become remote, and I personally have stepped away from the business at the moment, and I am just working on the business, not in the business, as I've hired and I have employees that work for me and obviously do all my rounds, stock my machines. Essentially, I work once, twice, or whatever it may be every few weeks where I do my restocks, because I buy for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, sometimes even a month. I make sure the machines are working all right, all the logistics side. So it can become remote, like I was saying, with this passive stuff. And, you can take that step back eventually. Now, how do you actually start your vending machine business? So essentially, I've created a guide that's going to help you get your locations. That's going to be linked below. And I'm also creating a brand new vending machine community that no one has in the UK. It's going to be for free. So if you want to get in, make sure you join the wait list. Also, if you download the guide, you're automatically put onto the wait list. So go ahead, get your guide below, start getting into the vending machine business mindset, and I hope you make so much money. Peace.